this year's Kingston Youth Council and Richmond Youth Council candidates, their journey started in October last year. They received training on campaigning, decision making, presentation, communication and politics. And they're using that training to sort of propel themselves as candidates into sort of public arena and to get young people to vote for them.
The reason I'm standing for the Youth Council is because I've always wanted to get the little people's voices heard, and it's always fair for everyone to get their little voice heard, even if it is a small thing. Sometimes it's important.
Recently I've noticed that young people kind of have felt very disinterested in politics and they're not really connecting. Voting is kind of how people establish a government where everybody has a say and kind of everybody feels represented.
I think often young people are stereotyped or dismissed in their opinions, especially girls, and I really want to represent them.
Hello everybody and welcome to the UKYP hustings for the candidates from Kingston. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all the schools who've attended, and I hope that you get something out of the hustings and are able to put your views across and question all the candidates on their manifestos, their values.
If I was elected to UK Youth Parliament, the two main issues that I would campaign tirelessly for are equality and better representation of minorities on both the local, within Kingston, and national level.
I feel that as a group in society, we as youth are misrepresented. The media focuses on the negatives and increases the stigma that you and I face. I look around and I see a group of bright, hardworking, determined individuals. And as your representative, I will ensure that your views are taken to the national stage.
I heard about the Youth Parliament when I joined Year 7 and they gave out leaflets and I became really interested, and that's why I'm here today.
I'm actually very interested in politics because I think it's very important what people have to say, and I think it's even more important that young people get to say what they want because they're going to be the next generation.
There's a real perceived notion in society that young people aren't really that interested in politics. But being a youth engagement worker for nearly 20 years now, I know that young people are extremely interested in politics.
You were that foundation, never gonna be another one, no. I followed, so taken, so conditioned I could never let go.
Hi, I'm Oscar and I'm here to run as your representative for UK Youth Parliament. My key issue is youth engagement and representation. So I'm going to open up with a question. How many of your friends have actually heard of the UK Youth Parliament? Chances are, if you're like me, not too many have heard about it. And this isn't right, because the whole point of the UK Youth Parliament is that we can be represented on a national stage.
If I'm elected, I'm going to be representing you. So I want to make sure that changes are made to benefit you.
I believe that we as a nation are capable of going beyond the stars, of doing things a bit differently.
What I want to change is how the subject of LGBT, that is lesbian, gay, bisexual and trans people, is treated in schools.
So the key challenge for us as youth workers and service providers and Achieving for Children in Kingston and Richmond Council is to really provide those opportunities for real dialogue to happen with decision makers, service providers, managers, to really meet with the Youth Council and the Youth Parliament to hear what they've got to say about young people's issues, concerns and fears, and to ensure that there's real opportunity for real change to take place for young people in Richmond and Kingston.
Achieving for Children is of course the organisation that runs the Richmond Youth Council and Kingston Youth Council. And because it runs both youth councils and both boroughs, it's very important that you are willing to work in partnership with young people in Kingston as well. There's so many great projects you can do with other young people in different areas. I mean, for example, in the past couple of years, we've had the NEAT project between Richmond and Kingston. We've had the Safeguarding project, arranging a massive event at the Boroughs Theatre between Kingston and Richmond.
You deserve somebody who wants to hold you and kiss you, and you're a luck, babe, because that's what I'm into.
Hello, my name is Emma and I want to use my past school council experiences and your vote at Kingston Youth Council and UKYP. I want to make sure that young people's voices get heard. People think we don't care about our local area, yet decisions made today will define the society that we inherit.
I will look to achieve 3 key things. Develop easy-to-use online information to better promote youth involvement in local activities. For instance, communication streams like Twitter, Facebook and Instagram are barely used.
Perhaps I'm being slightly over-optimistic, but I truly believe that with the right campaigns that band young people together and remind politicians that we'll be the ones voting in a few years, you could really make some much-needed positive change.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and I passionately believe in our generation and that us kids can make this country a better place. I've been a form rep for 2 years in a row now, and I know I have the skills to listen, but not only listen, but to develop and act on what you have said to me, to make your ideas a reality.
Wouldn't you agree that there are already issues about things like mental health and LGBT issues that are covered in the national curriculum anyway?
In reality, the PSHE that we receive in schools is by no means wide enough or broad enough to cover all of these issues. I think through campaigning this is something that I would be able to make more accessible and therefore make young trans people within Kingston and within the country feel more secure in their school environments.
This is a question for, is it Dave? How does he plan to help people with special needs in the borough?
Probably set up a forum for young people with special needs and represent their views here on this panel.
How would your plan to get support from schools across the borough, so not just from your own school?
Over the course of next week, I plan on going to a total of 5 different schools during school time and after schools, just to try and get my points across.
How did you find out about the elections?
I found out about it through school, through one of my teachers.
Yeah, I found out about it when I was in form time and they were handing out flyers.
I was asked to advertise it through my school, and I then thought that it was something that I was very interested in.
I'm moving to gain life experiences that will help me in the future.
I think personally that a lot of young people in our area are misrepresented. And I think it's time for that to change, and I do hope that that will change.
And now, of course, it is entirely up to you. My time has come to an end. I'm moving on. However, the adventure has just begun for yourselves, and I think really cherish it. It's a fantastic opportunity to make changes for young people. So I'll say it again, best of luck and really enjoy yourself.